Hey guys, Bolt here, and welcome to SP Studios. Anyways, we just finished up having. Yesterday we released on both Bolt and here the new introductions. I don't think I did as good as I did last time. I need to go look back at the old ones, but I want to kind of summarize what we do here, the scheduling, and then of course make sure of like plugging in what we're doing. And if you don't see in that one, hopefully I set up the Discord by now. If it is, I'll make sure to put it in this description. Um, it'll probably start being a part of our links um, in the description. Anyways, we're here to do the summary leading up from last week's Nancy Drew, the Creature of Kapu Cave, mystery number 15. This one it felt very quick. It felt very simple, but this mystery felt very chore-ish. So basically, Nancy gets called out by yet another friend or like another. She works under so many people with a good leading, and I think it's entomologist, basically someone who studies bugs, and she's there for a discovery. I think this is Hawaii, um, and you're trying to um, like work off of her. You're doing like chores, like trying to like do some data sheets, do some normal basically you're the assistant, which makes you do all the dirty work that isn't like simply learning about it. You're just kind of doing like the hey, run, do this, hey, clean that kind of thing. But you're also coming in when one of the recent legends is supposedly to come return and destroying stuff, ruining like the plant life and all that. And at the same time, this is one of the best newest mechanics is you can switch from Nancy to the Hardy Boys through calling them. I do wish that they made it to where you can in the like talking dialects, you allow Nancy or Hardy Boys to question her or switch places, swap perspectives. Because there's a few times where I'm like, hey, I want to just talk to these other people about certain things rather than switching, which I think happened 2 or 3 times through this mystery. This mystery only had, I think, 8 parts. So this was probably one of the shorter mysteries. But anyhow, so the Hardy Boys were hired to kind of come and investigate this business called Big Island Mike's. Apparently, there's something around here that's happening, a scandal, or like there's somebody making a problem. And here's just the quick. That was a summary of the introduction. Spoiler: go watch the playthroughs. Go play the game yourself. Anyways, so it turns out that Big Island Mike and his daughter are releasing bugs to affect the pineapple plant's life, to blame it on a facility that is on the property of the aunt of Big Island Mike, who in a contract says if that facility were to close, that property goes straight to Mike. And Mike is in debt, and basically either he was going to like probably sell the property to get his bills down, but basically he paid someone that slugs, I think it's Frank, into giving them chemicals, and he's a big thief because he sold, I think, fake jewelry, or something like that. He was, you call a shop to figure out who he is, and it's like, oh, I don't care for this person. But that person is such a small thing because all he is just something to deliver. He's basically like a black market seller. Um, but anyways, so they're the reason why the pineapple's getting attacked. They're the reason why there's bugs for the entomologist that Nancy's working under is there. Um, and basically spraying the plants with a chemical that attracts them, makes them multiply quicker, um, and making the population overdue, which means that like plant life would be majorly affected. Which, thanks to them knowing about what happens in the end of the game, they're able to go against it. Um, but why Frank and the Hardy Boys were hired was because I think it's like a higher up of the facility that the Big Island Mike's aunt's property is on. Basically says we can't let it out. They were getting blamed for affecting the pineapple plants for being in the area, and they didn't want their company to go under and didn't want all this like bad publicity. So they hired the Hardy Boys to go and investigate. And the facility itself also kind of plays a very small part. It's basically just they're trying to test and mutate and do other things for plant life. And this one professor it has anger issues, which I believe, if I understood correctly at the end, is the whole reason why the camp of the entomologist is destroyed. It's just him being absolutely angry, destroying it. Mismanagement, apparently. Um, or there was someone who got fired prior, and maybe it was him. I need to go look back. But anyways, it was just one of the facility people taking out their anger, and that's what happens. So it wasn't no creature. It explains the plant life, and then that's kind of about it. So just Nancy gets hired to help investigate the bug life, which is actually the whole reason why the Hardy Boys are there. So it's a huge, interconnected, simple story. But yeah, for the most part, this was probably one of my favorites. I mean, it's still not going to do anything close to Shadow Ranch. Um, because it's just the Western vibe is one of my favorite vibes. Um, I hope more games do something soon with that. That's why I love New Vegas versus a lot of the others, is because of the Western cowboy aesthetic that they try to go for. Um, and that's really I have played a little bit of online of the oh gosh, can't remember what not Dead Rising, Arthur Morgan and that kind of story. I can't remember at the top of my head. Um, Red Dead. That's what I was thinking. So Red Dead. Um, I played the online version. It's got like a classic Wild West vibe. Um, that's kind of the games I really like to play. It's my favorite aesthetic. Um, but so yeah, it's just like I do like the holiday island. Let's go vacay. But it's also like it felt kind of annoying and it fell flat as like an ending because it's like so someone who is in debt trying to ruin plant life, blame it on a major facility, and they kind of screwed up in the end. Oh, I yawned and it almost made my ear pop. But yeah, it was just simple. Guy has debt, has a property through family. That property is given to scientists. So you blame the scientists for a problem by spraying pineapple trees to infect them with a bunch of bugs that overpopulate and start ruining the plant life. You blame it on the facility so that the facility can leave. But to avoid that whole thing, the facility caretaker hires the Hardy Boys, and because this is a massive change in environment, an entomologist that hires Nancy So you not only do you have, proper people and like companies coming after you, but you got like three super sleuths that I think, well, Hardy Boys are recognized by like federal agents, I believe, where Nancy's more of a, hey, I'm just existing in the environment right now. But most people do know for her detective skills, which it's kind of weird that, she isn't like noticed by a lot of these people. She's gonna be a problem because she's this detective. Where the Hardy Boys, I think, are more undercoverish because, you know, I feel like since it kind of feels like they should be what um, in Scooby Doo 2, the Mystery Inc. Are well known by their hometown for knocking out so many mysteries from people doing fraud and all that. I feel like these three people that have been in so many cases that have busted so many historical secrets and mysteries and reclaimed major things like gold, jewels, like all these things, even people linked to people of mass history, like Marie Antoinette, I think it was one of them back in like the Royal Tower or something. It's like these are people that should have been like, just like the second you spot them, just like I'm a commit a. Isn't that Nancy Drew? And that's the Hardy Boys. Well, shit. So I just feel like that's something that this universe should have dealt with by now, but I think they kind of just like, oh no, we're just, youngsters trying to do a little getaway, or hey, I'm here just to kind of help out. It's like, we are more than 15 cases like deep because not like, they may not be as big as these like the game mysteries, but they got to be known by some people at this point. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Like I said, this was kind of slowed down purchasing processes for me. So next time it'll only be a 20-minute to kind of skim into it, but we'll move on to Nancy Drew, mystery number 16 next time. All right, bye bye.